Are you struggling to implement TypeScript in your React project, especially with the Reselect library? You're not alone. Today, we're going to tackle a common issue that many developers face when working with overloaded functions in TypeScript. I completely understand how frustrating it can be when the TypeScript compiler just doesn't seem to recognize the function's signature you want to use. It can feel like you're stuck in a loop, and that can be really discouraging. Let's dive into the specific question at hand. One user recently asked why the TypeScript compiler insists on importing the first definition of the createSelector function from Reselect instead of recognizing their custom function signature. Sound familiar? If so, let's explore this together. To understand this issue, we need to look at how TypeScript handles overloaded functions. The compiler sometimes struggles to pick the correct definition, especially when there are multiple signatures that could apply. This can lead to confusion and errors in your code. And stick around. At the end of this video, I'll share a tip that can help you avoid these types of issues in the future. To address the issue with the createSelector function, the user should first ensure that they are importing the correct version of createSelector from the Reselect library. This is crucial for TypeScript to recognize the appropriate function signature. Next, the user needs to define the selectors correctly. They should ensure that the selectors being passed to createSelector match the expected types. This will help TypeScript infer the correct types for the parameters. Now the user should modify the createSelector call to include the correct types for the parameters. This means specifying the types for both selectors and the combiner function. Finally, the user should check their TypeScript configuration. They need to ensure that the compiler options are set correctly to allow for type inference and strict type checking. Fun fact, did you know that TypeScript was developed by Microsoft to help developers catch errors early? It's like having a safety net while coding. Now, let's look at the answers provided by other users. An alternative approach suggests that the issue may stem from TypeScript inferring the array of selectors as a regular array instead of a tuple. To resolve this, the user recommends explicitly defining the selectors as a tuple type. By forcing the first argument to be a tuple, the user notes that it resolves the type checking issue, although it may introduce some unnecessary boilerplate code. Here's a pro tip. Always keep your TypeScript and Reselect versions updated. This can prevent many compatibility issues and make your development experience smoother. And there you have it. With these steps, you should be able to resolve the issues with the createSelector function in Reselect. Remember, troubleshooting is a part of the development process, and you're doing great. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe for more tips.